Hey guys, okay, so today I'm going to talk about my experience with a demon, kind of how it happened to me, and what I did to protect myself from that situation while I was in that situation, and also how I can prevent that for myself, and also how other people can prevent dealing with the paranormal, but then also being safe when it comes to encountering demons, encountering bad spirits and stuff. So just a little background. Actually, I'm going to tell you guys a little story, but background to the story. So I was in a medical assisting program, and it was about 1.5 years long. I met my best friend Jessica, who is also going to be collaborating on some videos with me because we're super into this stuff, as you'll hear from the story. So that's where we met, and we immediately just was drawn to each other. We're like best friends, soulmates. It's crazy. Everything we do, another person likes it, and we can be together for like 3 weeks straight and still, never fight, never anything. It's crazy. So anyways, but she's also into the paranormal. But she freaks me out a little bit more because she's kind of, I'm the safe one, and she's more into like the experience and how exciting it is. Sorry, I'm looking at my cat and thought it was peeing on the floor for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, that's how she is. So anyways, okay, so back to the medical assisting program. So that's where we were, and so we were kind of, how we met was we actually met up for coffee one day to go over an assignment or something. And so we were probably 30 minutes into the assignment, and I was done with that. I was sick of it. I was like, hey, do you want to go see this haunted house that's over on the other side of town? We used to go to it in high school, throw parties and stuff. We should go. And so she was like, okay, we'll go. And she's like, I like that stuff too. So we went, and that's kind of how we connected on the paranormal subject. So the next day in class, we were talking about it, with people, and it's like, well, yesterday we tried to do this assignment, but we didn't do it, So our teacher overheard us, and so she was like, well, I have some background in the paranormal and stuff. And she was like, my first husband passed away. It was several years ago. I think it was 10, 20 years ago or something. And, but he had passed away, and so, but she had a few children. And so her children were just, going through a hard time dealing with his, his passing and everything. And, so one day, it was one of her grandchildren. She took a picture of him, and she told us about the picture, and she said, there was a face in the picture, and it was a very scary face. It was a face next to, the little boy standing here, and it was against a mirror, a window or something. And so you can see her in the background, you can see the flash and everything, but you also see this face, right here. And it's just the face. There's no body, and there's a little boy, no one else in the picture, just this face. Okay, so she was telling about it, and she was like, it was the scariest picture ever. She said we had tried to take it to a professional photographer, taking it to a video, a picture store, kind of like a CVS, a kiosk or something. She had tried to take it there, and they wouldn't. They just were get this away from me. No one wanted anything to do with it. So naturally, me and Jessica are like, oh my gosh, you should, bring it into class. We want to see it. And so she was like, well, if I ever find it, she was like, but you guys don't need to be messing with Ouija boards. I mean, she was just that, if you're watching a horror movie and she's that creepy old lady, sorry, Miss Sue, if you're watching this, but she's that creepy old lady that is telling you, don't go in the attic. That's her. So anyway, so this was the first semester, and we're already, I think we were in our second semester at the time, and it was towards the end of the second semester. And I come into class one day, and I sit right next to Jessica. We're at separate tables, and I'm talking to her, whatever, and I see the teacher coming over, and I thought she was giving me a test or something. She slams down this picture on my desk, and I look at it, and right away I knew what she was talking about, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this the picture? And she was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, it is. And I was like, oh my gosh, Jessica, look at this picture. So I hand it to Jessica. She's immediately like drawn in. That's how Jessica is. She's just like immediately, she's like, oh my gosh. So we're looking at it and it just looks creepy. I mean, it has the face. I need to take this off. Oh, my cat. It's just, Nona's coming. Nona's coming to hang out. Okay, sorry. Cat break. Cat break. Cat break. Help me. Cat break. Okay, sorry. Anyways, so like, where was I? Ugh, cat break gets me every time. Okay, so anyways, so it has the face of like a human face, but it looks kind of like the face is a mask, and there's something behind it, and it looks very evil. It has a very, very sinister, very mean look on it. Okay, just like the way that its eyes are, the eyebrows. It has these pointy ears that, I mean, the thing looked, even thinking about it now freaks me out, but it looked creepy. It honestly looked like, to me, like it was something putting on a face. You know, it was just a mask. And she was like, that's my husband. She said, that's what my husband looked like. But she was like, but that's not him. And I was like, it honestly looks like someone just took your husband's face, like Leatherface, you know, Texas Chainsaw, just put the face on. And it was really creepy. So Jessica, she took a picture of it. Okay. It was like a, you know, actual picture that she had handed us. Jessica took a picture of the picture, and so did I, because I was interested in it too. Because immediately when I saw it, I was just drawn in. It was the coolest, scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, but I was like, man, this is so crazy. I've never seen anything like this. So I take a picture. She takes a picture. All day, Jessica's looking at that picture. She is just like melted into this picture. She's looking at it and she's like, I gotta figure out, it looks like someone. It looks like someone I know. I have to figure it out. So that's all day she's talking about that. So I kind of forget about it. And when I get home, I feel, because I was living by myself at the time, and this is why, you know, I don't live alone now. One of the reasons. But I was living by myself, and I felt really creepy. I felt like there was just some really negative, mean, bad energy around me. So once that started happening, I was like, you know what? I can't handle this anymore. I'm just going to be safe for myself and delete the picture. So that's what I did. I deleted the picture, and then I did a prayer just to kind of cleanse me of cleanse my energy and everything. And I told her to do the same. She didn't, because she was like, well, it looks like someone I know. I gotta keep looking at it. And I was like, whatever, do you, boo-boo. So, days go by, and things start happening at Jessica's house. She takes like this weird picture of a fan in her room, and there's a face in it, she said. But it kind of looked like a face, but I was like, I mean, you know, it's not really a face. And then another instance where she had like a solo cup of water, and it had like ice cubes in it, and she said it felt like, it sounded and it had the movement of someone just sticking their finger in and just went like that and just kind of moved the ice cubes around. And there's another one where I was actually there for it. It was actually really funny. Okay, so these things start happening in Jessica, and she like comes into school with like a red eye, like she popped a blood vessel in her eye. So once the stuff like that starts happening, she has 2 kids. And I was like, let me come over and fix what you've done, because you didn't do what I told you to do. You still won't delete the picture. I'm going to go fix your crap. So that's what I go do. So I'm at her house, and, you know, I'm kind of freaking out because nighttime's going to come around. I got to sleep there, you know, so I'm like nervous. And so I'm in her kitchen, and there's a vent above her dining room. And there's some balloons and stuff hanging down. Well, the balloons are moving, just kind of swaying back and forth, but there's no air coming out of the house. I don't feel the air conditioning on. So I asked her, and I said, is that air vent, like, is that air blowing? And she was like, she went up and checked it, and she was like, no, the air vent's closed. And I was like, oh my God, Jessica. And I knew it was different because it's like November or something. It was freezing. And they have the air on? What? So that's kind of what, you know, brought my mind to it. And she's like, no, it's closed. And I was like, oh my God, Jessica, we're going to die tonight. Like, your children are going to die. You're going to die. I'm going to die. We're all going to die tonight. So like that happens, and So the day goes on, and so she puts her children down to sleep, and I'm sleeping in her room, and she has these like shelf units all around her room on her walls. She has these shelf units, and I feel like this video is going to be like so long. I hope it uploads because I don't want to repeat this again. Okay, so she has these shelf units and everything, and she has like these weird hooks that she has her pictures on. So one of her pictures fell down like the night before or something, and she goes to pick it up. And so I was like, Jessica, it's going to fall down again. And she's like, no, it's not. So she lays back down on her bed, and that picture fell. That picture's like over here, goes across like, a few shelf units, and just like hits her right in the face. And so I was like, yeah, see, I told you. And it was funny. Like, it fell right there. Like, it like literally was like, so, once that started happening, and so I went over there and I did, like the same prayer I did to myself. I deleted her picture, I kind of like calmed her down. I did what I thought I could do as to protect her and her children against the spirit. Well, I didn't realize that like, I was protecting myself too, but I think it followed me, or it could have, because I didn't allow it to attach itself to me, but I think what it did, because it came back with me. So I think that's how it happened. I don't know. So I don't know if it's like the day later. I don't know if it's like a few days later or something. So, but I'm laying in bed, and, I have my laptop on my bed, and I'm just watching like, I don't know, some crap. Probably The Office or something. It's not crap, but it's good. But anyway, so I'm watching TV, and I can't go to sleep. And I just have this weird feeling that I'm being watched. So anyways, so it's like I'm watching TV and I can't go to sleep. I have like lights, as you can see over there. I have lights that go over my headboard and everything. I have like a lamp on, I have these lights and stuff so that I can sleep. Because sometimes when I do get scared at night, because of who I am as a person, I hate the dark. So I always sleep with something with a light on. So I also have this walk-in closet that's like right across from my bed. And I have all these boxes and stuff because the apartment I was living in had awful storage. So I had all these boxes and everything up on the shelf. And so all of a sudden, I don't know if it was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I don't know what time it is, but it's early in the morning because I couldn't go to sleep all night. I had school the next day. So all of a sudden, like, it's like this huge bang. And it's the boxes that I have up there just come flooding down. And I'm looking, my cat's looking, like we're just like, so I like stare at there, and it's like this dark closet. And I stare at it and I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's something in there. That thing's here. It's here. And I just sat there, and I stood, and I sat like on the edge of my bed. I have this like box of wine right here. So but I'm standing there on the side of my bed, and I'm just staring into this closet. I'm terrified. I'm telling you, I could hear like this low, like rumble. I don't know if it was just like my mind also playing tricks on me with that going on, but it was terrifying. It was just such a depressing, it was despair. It was awful. Just how that feeling felt and how terrified I was. I was so terrified. So I sat there for probably like 30 minutes, and I think I eventually put on the light to the closet, and I just kind of sat there and I started crying, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what's coming for me. I'm so scared. I can't, like, there's nothing else I could do right now to save myself other than to call on a higher being to come and save me, because something bad's gonna happen, and I knew something bad was gonna happen if I kept letting this thing manifest itself in my closet. There was a monster. I can't describe how terrifying it was. So I sat there, and I kind of put on some, like, I prayed, I think, and I actually prayed to God, because up at this time I had, fallen away from the church and everything. So I was only praying to archangels when I would do my protection prayers, and when I would, just like archangels and angels of protection, stuff like that. But this time I had actually called on God to come and save me, because it was terrifying. And if you're, you know, not a Christian or whatever, you know, or if you're an atheist and you want to stop this video now, that's fine. But this is what was going on for me. So I just immediately prayed and I said, I'm so sorry. Like, please, will you come? And it was a begging call. Just like, please come save me. Something's going to happen to me. Please come save me. And I remember I just gave everything. I was like, I'll give you my life. I will do anything to serve you. I need you to come save me, because I know that whatever's in there is going to come and get me. And like, I can't have that. And so I just prayed, and I was listening to Christian music, and I was crying, and I was just like begging for God to come get me and to protect me. And then all of a sudden, it took probably about 30 minutes or so of just me pleading for my life. And I felt just a light feeling. I felt, I don't know how to explain it. There was just so much darkness and so much despair and so much death in the room. And then all of a sudden it was just lifted. It was like someone literally just let open a window and all this stale air left. So that happened, and I don't think I went to bed. I probably did. I probably fell asleep for like 30 minutes when the sun came up, because I had to go back to class. But I mean, it was the most terrifying thing I've ever dealt with in my entire life. And, so from then on, I do pray to, angels, and I do pray, you know, still do the protection prayer that I do. But I also rely heavily on God, because of the fact that if the paranormal is real, there are spirits that we can't see, but that we do feel, then who's to say that there's not a God out there that is also, you know, that we do feel, and that we do feel loved, and, you know, things do happen for us and stuff. So I don't mean to go on a whole Christian, you know, love God or you're going to die, or you know, I don't mean to go on all that, but that was my story with dealing with a demon, and it was awful. And so now I'm able to pick up on those bad spirits and stuff, and you know, I have nothing to do with them. I was just trying to help Jessica, so she didn't go through that, because she's one of those people who she's very accident prone. Let's just put it like that. Bad things happen to her all the time. And I didn't want anything. And plus she has children. You know, I'd rather deal with something like that than have, you know, 2 6 and 7-year-olds dealing with that. So that's my story. Hopefully, you know, you guys kind of got something from this, and hopefully it didn't bore you too long, because I know it's like 18 minutes right now. So, hope you guys have a great day, and, happy hunting. I don't know if I need to do like a little catchphrase, but I don't know. Anyways, okay, bye.